to week 6. I personally woke up this morning kind of a little, it's like bittersweet, right? Because we're getting to the end, and I know that you guys have learned so much, and I've shared a lot, and like that's exciting, and it makes me happy, but also just knowing that next week is the last week is kind of sad too. So please always like and comment and share and subscribe if you're finding this on YouTube. I am just now getting into the whole YouTube thing, but I'm determined to be the next YouTube sensation. So go ahead and please help support me and the community and our community by subscribing and sharing and getting the word out there. Okay, enough of that. Week 6. We are on week 6, and this week it is the third eye chakra, the Ajna chakra. We have, over the last 5 weeks, talked about the different energy centers in the body. There's a lot of different energy centers in the body, but we have been talking about the main ones, the ones in the midline of the body, the ones that you probably have heard most about, starting with the root, coming all the way up. What is it? Root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye. Next week we'll talk about the crown. This has been really awesome for me just because, like I said, I have to do a little bit of my own research, and I always seem to find something new and exciting and just cool little things that I want to share, little nuggets. So again, my grandma is not here, so we don't have any music, but I think that kind of fits because this week and next week we're going to be talking about our highest 2 chakras, and they really have to do with focus, intuition, with enlightenment, with connection to the higher power. So if you want to find some music, please do. That is kind of a good side note or divot into the fact that we talked about vibration and how those certain sounds help to balance and cleanse the chakra. There is also different music you can listen to. There's frequencies. If you search in Spotify, Pandora probably has them too. Just finding the frequencies that match the vibration of whatever area you're trying to work on. Also, just music that makes you feel good, that you connect with, that helps you to connect with your body, with your energy centers, with your inner self, your true self, your higher self. Okay, moving on and into the good stuff. We are almost done. So by the end of next week, you'll have 7 different mantras to take with you. I didn't realize how cool that was going to be until I started using them in my real life, and now it's just really cool. You know, when I'm struggling with maybe confidence, I can pull that mantra out. So thinking about things like I know I am powerful. That's a good one. Let's see, what is mine? I'm trying to think. I am powerful. I know I create my reality, and I lead with my heart. So something else might come to you, but be thinking about that. Ajna, the brow chakra, the third eye chakra. It is kind of where your pituitary gland is. So about an inch in and about an inch down from your forehead. It's like a little ball, pituitary gland, or third eye chakra. It is the medium between our ego, lower body, and our higher consciousness. It is said to be the eye of intuition. This is where clairvoyance comes in. Not so much, like we talked about the throat chakra and how sometimes we can understand people by looking at them and sensing, communicate with body language and vibration and stuff like that. This is a little bit more like seeing, right, and knowing and you know what I'm saying. The color is indigo. It's a very pretty sort of indigo color, purplish, bluish, light, whatever version of that works for you. That's perfect. I thought this was interesting because I'm pretty sure the throat chakra is ether and the brow chakra is also ether. So I thought that was cool. The sound is om, om, om. And om is like spelled O-M, but it's really like aum, aum, aum. There's like an A, kind of an H, and then an M, aum. Anyway, it is in control of our brain, our eyes, our ears, our nose, and our nervous system. Kind of makes sense. It's all right there. So like sinuses, obviously eyeballs, your brain in there, nose even. I think the last thing before we get, there's only a few poses in this practice because it's really, it's in your forehead, so it's not as easy to get to. The last thing is the symbol. And so thinking about all of those things, we're crafting our mantra, and I'm going to teach you a breathing technique too before we go into actual poses. So the symbol for the Agna chakra is a circle with a downward facing triangle in it. The symbol is transparent, so it's kind of like this cloudy, transparent symbol, and it has it only has two petals on the side of it, and those petals represent the Ida and the Pingala, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next little section when we do the breathing technique. But it is the psychic channels, and they meet, those two things meet in our Sushumna Nadi, which is the midline, and it's kind of masculine, feminine, good, bad, all that yin and yang kind of stuff. So yeah, circle, downward facing triangle, two petals, transparent symbol. It's pretty simple. So maybe you can visualize that, or maybe you're visualizing that pretty indigo color, picturing ether, or meditating on what ether is even, right? It's that space in between. It's like it's got matter and there's space, and it's all of that in between. That's how I think of it anyway. Yeah, the Om, we talked about that. I think that's it, guys. So, moving on to our breathing technique. If you have studied yoga at all, then you know that asana, the physical poses, is really just one limb of, there's actually 8 limbs in the yoga tree. And asana is just one of them. Breathing is actually another completely separate set. Meditation is its own set. And there's other stuff mixed into there, but just wanted to kind of side note that breathing techniques are very important. They're very beneficial, and they actually are kind of their own. They're their own little thing, their own little animal. Okay, so if you're sitting in a comfortable position, whatever that looks like to you, we're gonna do what's called Nadi Shodan. And this is a really good breathing technique to help balance you in general. And it helps you to really connect with that third eye center, at least for me. We're going to be using our thumb and our middle finger, and we're going to be switching off nostrils. I should have blown my nose before this. So if you can, blow your nose or have a tissue ready. I hopefully won't blow too much snot all over. We're only going to do this a few times. Feel free to use this later. Feel free to continue on after we stop. It's really cool, like I said, really cool breathing technique. So We're going to start by plugging the right nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. At the top of your inhale, use that pinky finger to cover your left nostril. Left nostril, and breathe out of your right nostril. Then, before you switch again, breathe in through that same nostril, the right nostril. At the top, switch your fingers and breathe out through that other nostril. That's one round. So you go in, out, in, out. Does that make sense? We're going to do this 2 more times. Like I said, feel free to do this more or, practice it later or whatever. It's a nice technique. All right. Covering that first, the right nostril. Inhale. Switching. Exhaling through the other side. Inhale through that same side. Exhale through the first side. When I was in teacher training, we would do that for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes it seemed like an eternity. But what my teacher always told us afterwards is to sit in silence and just not necessarily meditate, but soak in the effects of that breathing treatment. How do you feel? So the reason this is so balancing is because it does help to clear and cleanse the Ida nadi and the Pingala nadi. They run along the sides of the spine. The innermost tube is called the Sushumna nadi. So Nadi Shodan is like a clearing of the nadis. We have these 3 nadis, Ida, Pingala, and the Sushumna, and this breathing technique really helps to clear those out, which results in a more balanced feeling. One more time, and we are going to sit for a few moments afterwards, just in silence. You can take in the way that it's making you feel. You can tune into some of those other things we talked about before. Maybe it's that pretty color. Maybe it's imagining. So when you're breathing, you can kind of feel the air coming up into your nostril or your sinuses up here, and then feeling it kind of go in and out helps to draw your attention and your awareness to this space. So maybe you sit in silence and just sort of meditate on that area, the sound Om, that symbol that we talked about, your mantra, I am powerful, I know I create my reality, I lead with my heart, which I think ties in the heart chakra a little bit. I get all of it. Okay, first side, plug up that right side, please. Inhale through the left. Switch sides when you're ready. Inhale through that second side. It really does feel good. Okay, just a few poses, really, some of them are balancing. We're going to have a little fun just to play and try to focus and balance. So just in your regular easy seat, inhale, bring your left arm up. Exhale, turn to twist, looking behind you. Don't have to take it too deep. Inhale, we'll come back to center. Wiggle out those arms if you want. I always like to shake it out. Opposite arm reaches up. Exhale, turn to twist. Good. Back to center. Wobble yourself out. Inhale, both arms come up. This time we're going to hinge and fold forward. Good. Back up. Switch the feet. We're going to do that same little thing on this side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, turn to twist. Maybe a little deeper this time, maybe not. Back to center with an inhale. When you're ready, opposite arm reaches up, right arm. Back to center. Both arms up. Fold. Nicely done. Back up. Few more little twisting poses first. So stretch both legs out in front. Move this flush away from those sit bones. Bring your right leg, left leg, doesn't matter, whichever one you want to start with. Bent at the knee, you want to bring the heel in close to the body, not super close, and leave a little space between the foot and the inner thigh. Inhale your opposite arm up, and we're going to turn to twist. I'm going to hug my knee in, hugging it and massaging the digestive organs. Looking behind you. Keeping your chin and shoulder parallel. Back through to center. Drop that knee. Bring your foot closer if you can, if you want to, if you wish. Slightly twisting that torso. Both arms inhale, and we're going to reach. Hinge and reach towards that foot. Stretches the hamstring here. Nose towards the knee. Toes are pointed towards the nose. Feels good. Back up. And do all that on the other side. So straighten that leg out. Opposite leg comes in. You got a little bit of space here. Set yourself up. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, turning to twist. This is really good for your digestive organs. Good. Back to center. Drop that knee down. Reset. Adjust yourself as needed. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hinge. Reach for that foot. Maybe you can grab the shin. That's perfect. I'm loving it. Back up, please. Straighten that leg out. Now to our tabletop. So kick the legs behind you. Come onto knees and hands. Setting yourself up. We stack our joints nicely. We're not locking in our elbows. Any little organic movement that feels good for you. Take a second just to stretch before we meet in a downward facing dog. If you are ready, when you are ready, walk those hands up, tuck your toes, and lift the hips. Maybe pedaling a few times if that feels nice. If you want to find stillness, root those heels down and send those hips up high. Good. Look up at at the ceiling, at your hands, and step your feet forward. Hang in this fold for a breath or two. Any little movement. When you're ready, slowly rolling up. Very slowly rolling up. We made it. Standing pose. Standing Tadasana. Tadasana. Okay. Eagle pose. So this is where we get into our concentration. And these are balancing poses. So if you need to find a wall that you can use to catch yourself, please do. There's nothing wrong with that. Balance is it, and it, I feel like it's different for everybody, and it's different every day. So nothing, no shame in your game. You're gonna pick a leg to root down through, and that's gonna be your rooted down foot. You wanna feel nice and rooted. This opposite foot is gonna swing up and over. Whew. Right? Maybe we're right here, and this is maybe you can catch your heel on your calf. Perfect. Maybe with a little momentum, you can catch your toes on your calf. Maybe not. It doesn't really matter. That's not the point here. We're just stacking our legs. So if my left leg is on the bottom, I want my left arm to be on the top. So my right arm is going to come underneath my left, and we're going to go back of hand to back of hand. Or if you can grab onto your thumb, or if you can touch palm to palm. If you have tight shoulders, this is going to be difficult. You can fold in a little bit if you want. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not going to hold it for very long. You got this. Gently unravel. Going into the pose, holding the pose, and getting out of the pose are all equally important steps of the pose, okay? So now that we're out, practice this later. It's all good. This is a pretty difficult pose. Okay, stretch yourselves out. Opposite leg, whatever that means to you. Root it down. This leg is gonna kick over. You're gonna notice, see, I have not nearly as much access on this side. I can't really get it to hook at all. So this is where we're gonna be. This is perfect. Right leg is under. We want right arm over, right? Yeah. So coming into, wait. Yeah. No. Right arm over. We want to do opposite. And if you don't do opposite, it's not that big of a deal either. You might have more trouble balancing on this side. You might have easier balance on this side. It's totally, it is what it is. We call this eagle eye pose, so you can like kind of stare through your hands. It's pretty cool. All right, coming out gently. Whew. That standing leg starts to get angry. That feels good though. All right, another fun dancing pose we'll get to in just a second. This one, again, balancing. If you need a wall, ain't no shame. First, we're gonna open our side bodies. I hope you can see my hands. If you can't see my hands, it's okay. I'm just gonna like grab opposite hands. Okay, both arms come up. Big inhale, grab onto your left hand with your right hand and lean over. Oh, opening that side. You should feel a good stretch from your armpit to the top of your hip. Good work, back up. Switch hands. Right hand onto left hand, and we're pulling to the left. It's really easy to do this. That's not what we want. We want to look up at the ceiling, keeping those shoulder or collarbones stacked. Okay? So if that makes it so we can't come into the fold more, that's that's okay. We want to get good at doing this first. Looking up, okay? That's important. Back up. Exhale, come down. Stretch it out. Shake it out. Setting up for our dancer pose. This one's fun. Okay. So, no matter where you are, pick a side, any side, root down through that foot, grab your opposite foot on the outside, please. Whoa. See, I grabbed onto the wall. I ain't even tripping. Stretching the calf out. Flexing that foot a little bit helps to find that muscle. Really stretching that quad. You're going to want to really stretch your quad. Okay. No slingshots. Gently release that foot. Shake yourself out, and on the other side, grab ankle. My quads are tight. This might challenge your balance enough. You might be like, okay girl, I'm done. I'm done after this. Good news is this is the last like pose before we get back on the ground and actually are pretty much done. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Gently release that foot. Shake yourself out. Okay. So that first leg, that first foot is going to root down and it's going to feel, lift your toes, really root into it. You're going to stand on just this leg, okay? Opposite leg comes up, you grab that ankle. When you've caught your balance, we're going to hinge. Actually, let me scoot back a little bit, sorry. If you raise your opposite arm up, that helps counteract your balance, helps with your balance. So here we are. Hinging at the hips, coming more parallel with the earth, and then kicking our leg into that hand. Dancer pose. Whoa. Okay. Slowly releasing, no slingshots. Whew. That standing leg is on fire. I'm just gonna turn around so you can see me easier. Other side. Root down through that foot. Look at those, lift those toes. Feel the roots. Whoa. Grab onto your ankle. This hip is tight, much tighter. Whoa. Okay, bringing my other arm up, helps with the balance. I'm gonna start to hinge, folding, keeping my balance. If you look at a spot that's not moving, so like right now there's a little spot on the bench to the piano, I'm just looking at that, helps to focus. If you flex your toes, that helps with the balance too. Good work. Nicely done. Slowly coming out. Gently dropping the arm, dropping the foot. That feels nice. Okay, we're done. Bring both arms up, please. Big inhale. Exhale, hinge, fold. Oh, Lordy. Walk those hands out a little bit and the feet out a little bit. Another downward dog. Do a little twist with our dog. So finding that position that feels good, that feels right. Take your right hand and reach it towards your left ankle. Come back up. Other side, reach left hand to right ankle. You can do this with your breath. Exhaling as you reach. Inhaling to come up. Exhale to reach. Inhale, come up. One more time. Good work. Drop those knees down. Tops of the feet flat on the mat. Bring your toes together. Open your knees wide. We're going to come into a wide-legged child's pose, and for a few moments, and as long as you want, really, I want you to breathe, and with your forehead on the mat. You can even massage your third eye a little bit, rolling the head around, shaking it from side to side or front to back. But breathe into that energy center and help clear that energy center. Hands can be out in front. Hands can be by the sides. Hands can really be wherever feels best to you. Feel the air as it comes in through those nostrils. Fills the belly up. Exhaling completely before taking in another round. Massaging that third eye. Circles maybe. Nicely done. As I said, please feel free to stay there as long as you want. I am going to draw this video to a close. I very grateful. Very, very grateful. From my heart to yours, I really appreciate you guys watching and following and giving me feedback. If you have any suggestions or anything to add, please do so.